Hi, I'm Leah Van Moore. I'm one of the two 8th grade science teachers this year, along with Jackie Colleton. And we wanted to bring you a video to help you support your children at home as they're navigating science this year. So the first thing we wanted to let you know is that when we plan out our days, we plan for content for the entire 100-minute block of time. Now, some of that time is going to be whole class online, where we're asking them to share work they're doing, or we're giving instructions, or maybe even we're asking them to go into small groups and share and work with each other, but they should all be online at the same time. Then some of that 100 minutes on some days might be us saying, you guys can go on your own and do this reading and answer these questions, or work on this lab, right? Maybe you need to set up your materials for a lab, or maybe you need to design something. So those students who did the water wheel this past week, right? Hopefully you saw a lot of these being made in your house. That was the type of thing we gave the directions and we explained it. And then we said, okay, you now have 45 minutes to go and work on that. There's been a little confusion that some students have thought that that's then optional time. So one of the guidelines I would give you is if your student says at I think first period ends at 10:40. If your student says at 10, hey, my science teacher let us go early, we now have free time, that's usually not the case. So there's probably something where we said, go and work on this, and you're welcome to come back and ask questions, but you don't need to be online to do it. We, however, always stay online for the whole 100 minutes. So students are always welcome to come back and say, hey, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Can you help me out? Can you let me know? But we've also put in some resources for you so you can help them or they can help themselves. So if they're in their Schoology course and they click on current work, now there's a lot of links here, but you're seeing my teacher version, so you're seeing like a behind the scenes version. Your student wouldn't have this many links. But here right at the top is a page that says work for the week of September 21st through the 25th. And really what that is an outline of what we're doing each day in class. We don't have all the directions and all of that because all of that can be found in a student's OneNote notebook. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you right now, is how they access and navigate their OneNote. So if you're helping them at home and you say go to the OneNote and they're not sure what you mean, you can maybe give them some support. So over here there's always going to be a nice picture of somewhere I've gone hiking. And again, your child won't have this many links over beneath the picture because your child doesn't have, like gradebook and gradebook setup and all of that. But they do have this link here that says OneNote class notebook. So they're going to click on that and they've already made their notebooks. Now, mine says something a little different. I have these 4 things where I can manage my notebook and add and remove students. Again, you're seeing the teacher version. But there's up here, kind of where it says 8th grade science, 3rd period, will say open OneNote. They already have a notebook. And they can either open online or in the app. It's their choice, and kids who are more tech savvy will decide which one they like best. It really doesn't matter. We've been giving them directions to open it online just so everybody's really looking at the exact same screen, but the content is the same no matter what. And so if your kid starts liking the app more, that's totally fine. So they're going to click on it and it will take them to a OneNote page. Now this is just a demo OneNote that I made, so your kids won't look identical to this. I can't show you my actual ones because it lists all the students here, and so for privacy reasons we can't do that. So I just made a demo one with my own child. However, your kid's OneNote is going to look a lot more like this than mine does. Mine has every student. Your kid will see space up here that says collaboration space and content library. They don't have the teacher only. And then they will see their own notebook. So you can think of these parts as kind of the master copies and then their copies. And so where they're going to want to go is always the content library. So in here in content library, I've made something called chapter 1. and your kid will see this too. And of course, now it's not working, so that's fine. I'm gonna refresh. Sometimes this happens. So I have refreshed it, and hopefully we'll see what we are supposed to see. Otherwise, boy, this is going to be an exact demo of what we normally see. So apparently it has not synced yet when I made my demo OneNote. So I'm going to pause this recording and wait for it to sync. Okay, technological issues, right? All right, so it has now synced. All of my notes that I've put in here are actually in here. So if you click on chapter 1, you see all of these. And this is always organized by date. So it makes it really easy. If a kid doesn't have, like if they were absent on the 14th, you can go into their notebook and then you can see exactly what we did on the 14th, right? So the 14th, was way back at the beginning of the school, but right, we have this video that we watched in class and then we discussed it, and they can fill out this box here, okay? If they're absent on the 17th, okay, and of course, a lot of it, again, hasn't been able to sync yet because I put in a lot of content at once. But here's the sorting tool now. And so, right, it's saying like what they're supposed to do. They should decide whether each object has energy or not. It tells them what to do. Here are the objects. There's a space for them to write. But where kids are getting frustrated is they'll try to write in here and they can't. And the reason is they're in the content library. You can think of the content library as my notebook, so they can't write in it. They have to copy pages over. And the way they do that is they click on the page they want to copy over and make sure it's loaded. It is loaded, it's right here. Then they do a right click and they go to copy. And then they go to their notebook. That's where they want to copy it. And they open it up and they're going to have two tabs. One is class handouts and materials. One is notes and data. We've asked them to put stuff in class handouts and materials. So they're going to click on that. They need to select it first. OneNote is really twitchy in that you need to tell it what you want before you can do it. So you can't just do a right click and paste it. You have to select class handouts and materials, then keeping the mouse there. Then you can do your right click and say paste. And now this student has this sorting tool in her notebook. And so she can either write in here, right? She could say fan spinning, or in fact, some of these, depending on your bandwidth, all right, the tiles are still loading, but when the tiles come up, you can actually click on them and drag them. And that's gonna be how we are running class every single day. To make your kids' life a little easier, normally we tell them during attendance that they can copy and paste the pages into their notebook, but we in fact also post the pages the day in advance. So if your kid's finding like the clicking and the clicking and the copying and that it's too much at the start of class, remind them at night, hey, have you copied over your OneNote notebook pages for the next day? So hopefully that really is helpful in helping you to understand where the work can be found and what we're doing every day in class. Feel free to email if you have questions. I would love to help you with this. Have a really good day.